You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest. And although it's been a long time, repeat offender. Welcome back, Daryl Jones, ERA Real Estate. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you with us. Been a long time.
It has been a long time. Last time I was interviewing with you, we were at the different location even.
Different location, and I don't know, maybe we're moving up in this world, although that's a different TV program, so okay. I guess I'll have to get on that one. Hey, let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And of course, we're celebrating today. And I look at the celebrations today, and it brings back memories to me from a day long ago. I had a warehouse right here in the city of Anaheim, and a lot of people working for me, import-export business. Today's National Forklift Safety Day. Well, I guess I'm probably getting some trouble, but being that it is past the statute of limitations, it's over 20 years, maybe a little less than that. I don't know if the forklift races were part of Forklift Safety Day. I don't know about racing through the warehouse. I don't know. National Random Acts of Light Day. Now, I don't know about this one quite as much, but I will tell you, if you ever gone to Paso Robles, they've got a light show that they put on there. Spectacular. You've got to go see it. It's several acres worth of land. Obviously, you can only do it at night. Not a lot of people are, maybe I wonder if it was as good as I remember, because after drinking wine all day, I'm not sure I remember how good it was. But thank goodness we did not do any axe throwing that day, because today is International Axe Throwing Day. Call Your Doctor Day. I guess that's got to be a new one, because we didn't even have the doctors on call for a long time. What else we have? Like softball day, sewing machine day. This one fits me. National Kitchen Klutzes Day. Okay, let's move along. Let's see what's going on in the world today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up 109 points. S&P 500 is up 21. NASDAQ is up 67. Oil up $2.17 a barrel. Wonder if the president's awake yet and knows that we can still start filling that petroleum reserve like he said he would. 10-year treasury's up. Shouldn't be. Why is the treasury going up? Why are the bonds going down when we had a favorable CPI report? Well, pretty simple. Take a look at what's going on in the stock market. People are moving their money. Well, I shouldn't say the stock market, because there's a lot of misleading going on in the stock market right now. If you're watching the stock market, you're seeing, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 116 and the NASDAQ is up 72. Sounds good. Take out Google, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, and there's one more that I'm forgetting. And the Dow Jones is down by a lot. 7 stocks is what's driving all of this. So just watch that. But the issue is People are saying, I'm going to put my money into the stock market and not into the bond market. If they're putting their money in the bond market, then we'd see much better interest rates. And we'll talk more about that in the Mortgage Minute when we get to that a little later on. But there's a lot going on. You know, I talk about all the time how we're constantly looking out for you. And one of the new things that just came out just as I was heading to the studio this morning, student loans. I'm going to have to start making payments on those in October. So the interest is going to resume in September. Payments start in October. Now, because I am looking out for you, we have put together RSR studentloanhelp.com. RSR studentloanhelp.com. It is a simulator for you to help you with your student loans. Now, there are a lot of different programs out there that'll help you to minimize your student loan payments legally. You're still repaying them, but there's all these different programs out there. I'm going to throw into the simulator right now a very, very real scenario. And the reason I say it's a very real scenario is because I just did it for somebody a couple days ago. Now, here's what the scenario looks like. And I want you to understand these numbers because it's going to help you by a whole lot. So we've got a family, annual income of $72,000, $72,000 a year. Not abnormal for a lot of people. You've got $90,000 in student loan debt. Unfortunately, that's not abnormal for a lot of people. 6.12 average interest rate on those, and it's a newlywed couple. Now, why do I look at these numbers? Because they're going to help you. Now, when those numbers go back in and they have to start making payments, would you understand how much their payments are going to be? They may not even realize this, but their payments are going to be a whopping, here it comes, ready for it? $1,005 a month. $1,005 a month. Now, when I run it through the simulator and look at different programs that are out there, do you know that that could be reduced to $385 a month? $620 a month in savings. Now, yes, you know that I do lead a lending team. What does $620 a month do for purchasing power of a new home? It adds $88,241 to the purchasing power. Now do you understand why we've aligned with RSR studentloanhelp.com, RSR studentloanhelp.com? Is it free? No. Could you do it on your own? Yeah, you can go and do all the research you want. I'm not inclined to do all the research, but I do have a team that does. So $250 will cost you to get that done by these folks. We'll do that for you. Now, did I just say that you're going to save $620 a month and it's going to cost you a one-time fee of $250? Oh, and by the way, yeah, you could have guessed this one. You'll get that rebated if you're doing a home loan with the team. Just throw that out there. So it won't even cost you the $250, but you got to pay it up front. But if you want to save money, you want to learn about this, RSR studentloanhelp.com, RSR studentloanhelp.com. Those loans are coming back. It'll take you about 30 days to get this done, so don't wait until the last minute. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, your needs matter more today than mortgage rates. We'll talk about it. And we've got Your Credit Matters. How much will my credit scores increase if I pay off collections? And what's the most important aspect in selling a house? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis. rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Every day at this time, OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates, with consumers across 42% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They don't tell us APR. They don't tell us points paid, points received. They only tell us raw data. And it looks like we had a pretty good day yesterday. 30-year conforming loans were down ever so slightly, 6.689. 30-year jumbos down a bit, 6.723. FHA was the only one that was up, 6.619. USDA down 6.602. Rural areas, generally no down payment. Best loan on the market, and it was down more than any other. I love that. 30-year VA loan. We appreciate our veterans. Thank you every day. 6.424 is where the 30-year VA loan locked at yesterday. Let's take a look at what's going on today. 10-year Treasury is up 4 basis points. The S&P 500 is scrolling quickly by me. Hopefully it'll stop here in a minute. Well, I'll just look at a different screen. That one's up 28.43. Mortgage-backed securities are down 6 basis points. That one there also, again, is a tough one. Just because when that goes down, that means interest rates are up. But here's the issue. What's driving it? That's what we really want to know. And that is, we told you yesterday, it was going to be the CPI report that came out today. We did get that information. May Consumer Price Index report showed that overall inflation increased by 0.1%, which was even lower than estimates of 0.2%. Year over year inflation declined from 4.9 to 4%. Nice. It was lower than the 4.2% expected. Inflation has declined sharply from 9.1% peak. Hello, Federal Reserve. Are you listening? I know you guys have problems over there.
Idiot.
Yeah, don't
idiot.
say that about
Such an
them, but
idiot.
that is the truth. They're probably not watching. They haven't been watching anything going on lately. The inflation is coming down, folks. We've talked about this. We told you in January when it would start coming down. We've been spot on. Main focus is core rate, strips out food and energy that for those folks that don't need food or energy. That increased by 0.4%, which is in line with expectations. Year over year, core CPI decreased from 5.5 to 5.3, also lighter than estimates. Shelter costs rose by 0.6% in May and rose by 8% year over year. Remember, that is 43% of CPI comes from shelter costs. So at 8% year over year, it's down from 8.1%. Again, these are lagging numbers. We look at the real-time numbers. Rent rose 0.5% last month and are 8.7% year over year, down 1/10 from the previous report. Owner equivalent rent, which is a totally stupid number, because do owners really track what it would cost, what they could get in rent for their own home? I don't think so. And most owners think their house is worth more than it is anyway. Tries to capture the increase in home ownership costs, rose 0.5%, is up 8% year over year. With rents and owner equivalent rents rising 0.5%, the volatile lodging away from home figure pushed up shelter costs a bit. Lodging away from home rose 1.8% after falling by 3% last month. That's hotels and Airbnbs and things like that. Big problem in the report, used cars rose 4.4% for the second month in a row. Think about that. That's almost a 50% rise in the car prices if you look at that for the whole year. Used cars make up 3.6% of core CPI, pushed the reading up 0.15%. Motor vehicle insurance rose 2%. We're probably feeling that as well. Year over year would have fallen to 5.1 if it wasn't for the used cars and the insurance. Energy prices fell 3.6%. We know that wasn't in California because we like taxes and fees here. NFIB small business optimism rose slightly off a 10-year low, but remains at depressed levels. Plans to hire did rise 2 points, while the compensation components each rose 1 point. So not good news on that one either. We are heading toward a recession, which will be good for real estate values and good for mortgage rates if history repeats itself. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's chat with real estate guru. And, you know, do you have a sign that says we're number one?
No, doesn't everybody?
Yeah,
Actually.
I thought you'd have that with you.
Well, I would. It's probably overused.
No, what did I see? 16 years in a row?
That sounds about right. North Orange County.
Orange. Well, I mean, you're not going to be
in my house. I'm number one in my house. I'm joking.
I'm married for almost 36 years. I don't get that claim. That's how you stay married for 36 years. We know that my wife, I run the house. I'm the head of the house. She's the neck. She turns me whatever way she wants.
Yeah, right.
But so you guys have been doing good, helping people.
Yeah. I got in the business in 1990, so I've been doing it for quite a while.
1990.
Yeah.
So you've seen a market cycle or two.
Oh goodness, yeah. In fact, my first 5 years. So 1988 to 1993, from what I understand, was the first 5-year period where prices were lower in California than they were 5 years previously. So I kind of learned how to do this business in a really horrible situation as far as real estate goes, which was a blessing in disguise because you had to really hustle. You just had to work your tail off. And so when I see these markets, when they're up and it's more of a seller's market, it's just much nicer to work in those markets. Let's put it that way.
A lot easier.
Yeah, it's easier and it's just more effective. You can really leverage these markets, and actually both sides, sellers and buyers, whenever it's a buyer's market. But you can really leverage it when it's a seller's market.
Well, the one good thing about challenging markets, I think, it from a, and I think as a consumer advocate, I can say it, and from a every other sense of the word, is it washes a lot of people out.
Yeah,
And the people that are washed out, and I don't wish ill on anybody, but the people that it washes out are generally the people that, you know, got in for the wrong reason. They're not in like you for the long term. They're not in like you for helping people. They're just in it for themselves.
It just amazes me. Yeah, my uncle got a license, and again, yeah, I don't wish ill will on anybody, but and I'm thinking this is the largest asset you probably have. I mean, you want to make sure you get someone that knows what the heck they're doing, because if they don't, it could cost you easily 50 grand, 80 grand. I mean, it's going to cost you some money. Let's put it that way.
Well, and you know something, I'm a perfect example because the barrier to entry to get a real estate license is so low.
Yeah.
I've had my real estate license for probably, I don't know, 9 years now, something like that. And I'm not qualified to do a transaction. But I got it because as a lender, some of the lending companies are licensed or regulated by the Bureau of Real Estate or Department of Real Estate, whatever it's called this week.
Yeah.
So that's why I got the license, right? But that doesn't make you qualified to help a family with that.
Right.
I mean, I've talked to several people that are lots of seasoning, I call it. And they tell me that every transaction has some hiccups and speed bumps.
Oh, absolutely. That's all we do is put out fires, and oftentimes you just need to prepare expectations properly so they know in advance. And doing this for so darn long, you kind of know the hurdles that you got to overcome when you start a transaction.
Now, I threw some numbers up here, I love real-time numbers, right? So, and then we can't get every city, but I threw up Yorba Linda. I think that's part of your jurisdiction.
Oh, sure. California.
32 properties for sale, 32 single-family homes.
Yeah.
For the whole city.
Inventory is quite low. Very low. And it makes an enormous difference. And in fact, I'll give you a little story of how big a difference it was. As you know, last summer, the rates going up kind of caused the market to slow down quite a bit, actually, and even come down in prices, etc. And I had this house. It wasn't selling at $900,000. Couldn't get anyone to pay over $900,000. All of a sudden, we get a pretty good sized dip in inventory. We closed escrow at just shy of $1 million. So I mean,
wow.
These inventory numbers are extraordinarily important. I mean, you can really, and we're actually in that right this second, and you can really leverage the market if done properly, where you get a lot more money.
Now, is that I always ask this question because I like to see the process of seasoned individuals. I don't say old individuals. I just say seasoned. I'm old, but I look at it and say, is that the strategy of the listing agent to list lows to get the price going up?
It does. I try to do that as well. I mean, I tell people, I say, you want to probably just be a few inches lower than what we think it's going to sell for, because that'll just bring you ultimately the best price, the highest price. It's crazy. I saw this around 20 years ago. There was two homes. I didn't have either listing, and they were on the market in the same tract, same floor plan. One was a rental and it was beat up, and they priced it accordingly really low. Another one was just immaculate. They kind of overpriced it, but I didn't blame them because it was really beautiful. Well, that low priced fixer got bidded up almost to what the move-in ready house was asking. So it's a really effective strategy to get top dollar.
Now, I find this fascinating because, I started with buying real estate myself in the early 80s. And I learned from my mom, who did it even before that. Kind of like your
my
your
mom
scenario.
started in 1977. I started in 1990. Yeah.
And my mom never saw a price that she would pay. Right? It was back then, that was the pricing that was on a property was always the starting price, and you negotiated down.
Right.
Kind of seems like it's changed a little bit.
Well, it depends on the market too. I mean, so in a different market, it's harder to do when there's a lot more inventory. But you always want to price it as properly as possible. I guess that sounds obvious, because all the best marketing on the planet, if you got an overpriced property, it's going to be a lot more challenging and far more important, less beneficial for the seller.
And it sounds like from the story you just shared, it sounds like you can probably get more than your property may be worth if you price it aggressively, like in that rental where so many people started pushing it up.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I've got one right now. We're in the midst of negotiating. In fact, when I leave the show here, we're going to start sending out responses. But we priced it very, very well. And we're already at a price that if we would have priced it at a higher price, we probably wouldn't even had any offers. Now we've got 15 offers.
15 offers. That's beautiful.
It's very beautiful.
If you're the seller of that price, now if you're the buyer of it, buyers out there, the people making offers, you might get a little frustrated. But as a seller, you're watching that, and I guess that has a benefit on request for repairs and everything else when you're
everything. We try to get a backup offer as well when we enter escrow, largely based on that, because sometimes after the negotiations are done, I think the buyers, you get your typical or common buyer's remorse, as they say.
Sure.
And they're thinking, oh, we better beat them up on the inspection. But with a backup offer, it's an easy response. Well, okay, I know you're asking for a new roof, but we have a backup offer. That's just the scenario.
Sure.
And it really goes from, oh, okay, well, yeah, we're okay with the roof.
Yeah. Somehow that roof just got mysteriously fixed.
Yeah. So
you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, maybe we'll give you a couple of tricks that the lenders use to increase your purchase price. We'll talk about that. We're going to also chat a little bit, maybe a lot of it, about what's the most important aspect in selling a house. Your needs matter more than today's mortgage rates. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit RSRNoDebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, RSRNoDebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. RSRNoDebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to RSRNoDebt.com. RSRNoDebt.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by RSRmoney.com. RSRmoney.com. Great site, not just because it's ours. Well, I didn't create it. I just pay for it for you. You can monitor your credit scores, monitor your bank accounts, monitor your asset accounts, monitor your real estate values. It's going to give you 4 different valuations of your real estate. 3 of them are really good ones. And I know you're going to look at Zillow, so we put that on there just so you have it there. And it's also going to give you 97% of the properties across the United States that are available for sale. All at no cost to you. rsrmoney.com. Your needs matter more than today's mortgage rates. That's our subject today. If you're thinking about selling your house right now, chances are it's because something in your life has changed. And while things like mortgage rates are a key part of your decision on what you'll buy next, it's important to not lose sight of the reason you want to make a change in the first place. It's true, mortgage rates have climbed from the record lows we saw in recent years, and that has an impact on affordability. With rates where they are right now, some homeowners are deciding they'll wait to sell because they don't want to move and have a higher mortgage rate on the next home. As Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com explains, quote, homeowners who locked in a 30-year fixed rate in the 2 to 3% range don't necessarily want to give that up in exchange for a rate in the 6 to 7% range, unquote. But your lifestyle and your changing needs should matter more. Here are a few of the most common reasons people choose to sell today. And any one of these may be more important than keeping your mortgage rate. Ali Wolf, chief economist at Zonda, says in a recent tweet, quote, first-time and move-up buyers are both active, the latter driven by life changes, divorce, marriage, new higher-paid job, and existing home unsuitable, all referenced, unquote. Relocation. Some of the things that can motivate a move to a new area include changing jobs, a desire to be closer to friends and loved ones, wanting to live in a dream location, or just looking for a change in scenery. For example, if you live in suburbia and just landed your dream job in New York City, you may be thinking about selling your current home and moving to the city for work. Upgrading, many homeowners decide to sell to move into a larger home. This is especially common when there's a need for more room to entertain, a home office or gym, or additional bedrooms to accommodate a growing number of loved ones. For example, if you're living in a condo and decide it's time to seek out a home with more space, or if your household is growing, it may be time to find a home that better fits those needs. Downsizing. With inflation driving up everyday expenses, homeowners may also decide to sell to reduce maintenance and costs. Or they may sell because someone's moved out of the home recently and there's more space than needed. Could also be that they've recently retired or are ready for a change. For example, you've just kicked off your retirement. You want to move to somewhere you can enjoy the warm weather. And we don't have that in Southern California right now, and have less house to maintain. Your new lifestyle may be better suited for a different home. Change in relationship status. Divorce, separation, or marriage are common reasons individuals sell to buy different homes. For example, if you've recently separated, it may be difficult to live under one roof. Selling and downsizing may be a better option. Health concerns. If you're a homeowner faces mobility challenges or health issues that require specific living arrangements or modifications, they might sell their current home to find one that works better. Deciding whether it's the right time to sell your home is a very personal decision. There are numerous important questions to consider, both financial and lifestyle based, before putting your home on the market. Your future plans and goals should be a significant part of the equation. Bottom line, if you're ready to sell your house, you can make a move. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll talk you out of it. That's the Real-Time Real Estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I say that in jest, but I kind of believe in it a lot as well. And I'm going to talk to you about that, Daryl. Daryl Jones, ERA Real Estate, with us chatting this morning. So, Daryl, I have a conversation with a lot of folks about this. First off, moving out of California, because the articles are written on a national level. You move out of California and you sell your house. Hard to get back into this market from a financial standpoint.
Oh, very true. Yeah, people often will say we've got to really make sure this move. I mean, they take quite a bit of time to determine their move. In fact, I just had one change their mind. But it's funny you should say that. I saw it happening a few years back so frequently. I thought, I've got to go check this out. What's the real data? So I checked my last 50 sellers who also bought, because I also work with a lot of people who inherit homes. So obviously they're not buying anything afterwards. But the last 50 sellers that sold and bought, half of them moved out of California.
Now the question will be interesting to see is how many come back.
I had one come back so far.
Okay.
from Texas back to California, but all the other folks, the best of my knowledge, are still where they move to. Often, Idaho's a big hot spot that I'm seeing. This is just what I'm seeing. I mean,
Sure.
Texas.
We've got 3 clients right now that we're helping in Idaho right now.
Oh, there you
Same
go.
exact scenario.
Yeah, Idaho, Texas, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. Got some folks I just listed yesterday going to North Carolina, and of course, Arizona and Nevada being so close proximity wise. Tennessee, the big
So my
state.
question to you would be, because I counsel, here's my counsel, and I want to see what your thoughts are, is I say keep the home in California, find a good property manager. That way when you're gone, you don't have to worry about it, and rent it out.
I think that's great advice. I would support that 100%. Yeah.
Because I'm looking in the area where you and I are right now, and the 63-year appreciation for North Orange County is 5.35%.
There you go.
So, and over the last 5 years, it's 6.85. We can't guarantee the future, but we can. 63 years is a pretty good benchmark.
It is. Yeah.
So keep that property. Maybe you need to take some cash out of it to buy the new property. But my guess is if you had your property any length of time, well, you'll know this better than me because you're the real estate guy. I'm just a finance radio guy. You could probably rent it out for positive cash flow.
More than likely, the rents are pretty darn high right now. Yeah, very, very likely you could. It's just a matter of this part, if you qualify with that debt, but of course, if it's wiped out by the income from the rent, you should be able to do it.
Now, I say the same thing to young people because we talk about 6 Ds. I mean, the article didn't call it the 6 Ds, but I use 6 Ds. So we've got diamonds, diplomas, diamonds, diapers, death, divorce, and default.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Daryl. Okay.
No, well, you can put that in there.
All right.
Well, if you have an issue with diplomas, diamonds, diapers, death, default, or divorce, call Daryl.
That's
Right?
sound advice. Wow.
Those are really the catalysts of what people, you have to move on those things.
Oh, absolutely. It's funny. I was just talking to someone yesterday about how, and I need to go back and look at the percentage of how many houses I'm selling right now where they inherited it. I mean, frankly, it's I'm guessing at around 30% of the inventory are just houses people inherited. In other words, the only reason they're selling for of death, and they obviously have no choice. So what's my point in saying that? I don't know.
There's catalysts.
Yeah, that's the catalyst. That and grandkids. The gravitational pull of grandkids is no stronger gravitational pull. I have so many people going, well, I've got a grandchild in Texas, and we're going there.
It's interesting because that's one of my California departee for Idaho. Is his kids are in Idaho or in right there in Washington as well, so they're local.
Yeah.
But, and so what I was getting to though, the young people, if you bought that condo, I'll give you a 3-minute retirement plan with no IRA, no 401k. Call Daryl, but that's part of it. So if you've got a condo and you refinance that condo, take whatever equity you can, leave 20, 25% behind, refinance. Doesn't matter what the rate is. At some point you'll keep it there, but take that money out, keep the condo, rent it out, buy another property because it'll be your primary residence. You can do it with 3 to 3.5% down. I don't care about mortgage insurance because that's only going to be temporary. Then do that every 5 years for the next 15 or 20 years.
Sound advice.
Right? 20 years, you're ready to retire.
Absolutely.
So you could be 20-year-old, start today, 40 years, 40-year-old, you're ready to retire.
Where were you 20 years ago?
I don't know because I didn't take that advice myself. Because I didn't, but something I did just that simple to retire. You don't need the 401k, you don't need the IRA, you don't need the job. Because after 20 years, if you got 3 or 4 properties that are appreciating in Orange County at 5.5%, you've got several $1 million worth of real estate owned.
And a very good income too.
And somebody else is paying the mortgages on them.
Right, absolutely.
Right. So just another method of the process where it really becomes pretty simple to just have a retirement plan by using, now you have to have a qualified real estate realtor, right? Don't go trying to cheap out on this. You're not going to go to your mom's dog's best friend's dog walker or something like that, because you're talking about a lot of money and you're talking about your whole life.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, I have a friend of mine that they found a leak in his pool. Thankfully, they found it ahead of time. Right. Those are things that happen.
Right. Right.
But when you started, people had to talk to the realtor to get prices and find out what was available. Today, you don't need that anymore.
Very, very true. But it is, like you had mentioned in one of your reports, it's kind of a lagging number oftentimes. So when there's a market shift, it would be important to talk to someone that knows what the heck they're in terms of knowing what currently is happening in the market.
But my point is that when you started, I started, we could see a sign on the street. My wife found one of our houses by driving up and down the streets.
Yeah.
Because Al Gore hadn't invented the internet yet. Right. Yeah. So you had to go based on the sign. Now people find the property, they can go to RSR Money and find any property in the country just about. Right. But what they really need the expert for is to get the contract to close.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's what they need. That's what they need your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say for sure. In fact, and oftentimes when buyers ask me for advice, I tell them, well, one thing, this probably sounds rather simplistic, but look at as many properties as possible, be informed. And then when you look at the properties, of course, that's the way to know. And you've gone out and seen 20, 25 properties that are on the market. You see everything. You're going to be an expert in that field, in that time frame, in that place.
Well, now it's a lot easier too because we all take a phone with us, a camera with us.
Oh yeah, no,
we didn't do that back then because you had to wait a week for it to come back and find out if you even got a picture that came through. Now you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Josh, we're going to skip that Your Credit Matters segment today. I'll just do the blurb for it, so I can continue our conversation. Daryl Jones is with us, ERA Real Estate, and we're going to get to what's the most important aspect in selling a house. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
March Madness might be over, but the game is still on for home buyers. Don't let misrepresentation of home appreciation outlook get you down. The FHFA says that despite the Fed doubling interest rates, home prices are just down less than 1% from their peak last June. What are you waiting for? It's time to shoot your shot and start your home buying journey with RSRmoney.com. They will guide you through every step, making the process as smooth as a three-pointer. Visit RSRmoney.com now and make your dream home a reality.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. They all are. What are you doing about it? Been looking at credit reports. Well, I've told you, I got started in real estate in 1983. I've been looking at credit. First family I actually helped was in 1983, get a house or get a home loan. I've been looking at credit reports for a very, very long time, and I've never, ever seen one that's completely accurate. The highest score I've ever seen is an 834. 850 is perfect. And that one had errors on it as well. So what makes you think yours is so good? Huh? Now, just to give you a couple of little tools here, rsrccpayment.com. Pay your credit card bills the right way for FICO purposes. Yeah, don't tell me that you pay them in full every month. That's probably doing it the wrong way. rsrccpayment.com. If you pay them in full at the right time, that'll get you a better FICO score. rsrccpayment.com. And hey, if you want to get more buying power for your buck, or maybe you want to get more price for your property and not have to mark it down as much if you've overpriced it, rsrbuydown.com. rsrbuydown.com. Both of those are video presentations where I'll walk you through the process of accomplishing these different goals. RSR Buydown even will help you increase your purchase price and lower your monthly payment. Think about that one. Worked with a family yesterday, making an offer on a property at $1,500,000, and by working with the seller on interest rate, now they're paying about $150,000 more than the property's worth. Working with the seller, they're going to save $500,000 over the life of the loan, a little over $500,000 life of the loan. rsrbuydown.com. That's Your Credit Matters, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it's wrong. What are you doing about it? Jeff Sipes and the team over at Blue Water do a great job for our clients. Continuing our conversation, Daryl Jones is with us, ERA Real Estate. He's been doing this for at least 20 minutes, or at least on radio for 20 minutes.
Right.
Actually, longer than that, because was it 7-8 years ago you were on with me?
Yeah, when you were over at, was it Astor?
Yeah, I was on Bloomberg back then.
Yeah.
And ABC, we stepped up a little bit. But so I guess we better get it in, Daryl. What's the most important aspect in selling a house?
Great question. I would say if you had to pick one, was pricing it. You have to price it properly. All the marketing in the world is it won't do you any ounce of good if you don't have it priced properly. And I'm not saying price it super, super low. You just don't want to price it super, super high. And it's counterintuitive too, because it gets you the most money too. In other words, pricing it properly. And another thing too, I think it's funny. There's probably more than one answer to what's the most important thing, but that and responding to all offers. We've seen a little change. The last few years has been a pretty incredible real estate market. One of my biggest gripes was the fact of listing agents not responding to offers.
That drive you crazy?
Oh, it's just it's
rude.
Well, it's not in their client's best interest not to respond to offers. I had a house where we came in 100,000 over asking price, 40% down, no appraisal contingency, no loan contingency, and we didn't even get a counter. And typically a buyer doesn't come in with their highest offer with their initial offer. So typically there's room, and the only way to find that out is just to give them a darn counter. And we didn't even get a counter. I just thought, wow, that agent just probably lost a good 25 to 50 grand minimum for their client by not doing that.
So why do you think they would not do that?
Well, there's a lot of work involved in countering. I mean, we had 80 offers once on a property.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have a team that helps me out because it does require some help. You can only imagine these are over 20 pages each offer. So just a lot of work. But my philosophy is, look, if you can't do all the work that's necessary, then don't take the listing, for crying out loud.
Yeah, because I'll throw in one extra piece to it, because I think that everything you've said is spot on, but I think there's also some nefarious agents out there that are more concerned about themselves than their client.
Without question. And it's funny because that scenario that I told you happened, and I didn't think that the agent would have done that. And I'm not trying to downplay all the agents. There's a lot of great
ones.
Agents.
Absolutely.
A lot of great agents out there. But yeah, no, you have to get an agent that knows what they're doing. And you want to respond because it's in the seller's best interest to respond to every single offer.
You know, it's a combination though. It's in the seller's best interest. But the reason that my opinion, the reason that you've been in this industry for as long as you are and you're as successful as you are is the professionalism. And professionalism, that shows the level of professionalism when you're responding and doing the right thing for the client. And my bet is, and I have never asked you this question before, but I'm going to throw this out there, is because of doing a lot of real estate, you've probably talked people out of selling a home or buying a home in your career.
Oh, yeah, I would say.
Because it's in their best interest.
I give them the facts, and oftentimes it leads to a change of heart. And but ultimately, it's because for them.
Because you're doing these things for the right reason.
Yeah.
And that's why that's the reason I love having you come on, is when you're doing the things for the right reason, you're probably going to eat this week, whether you sell that house, that one particular house, or not.
Oh yeah, I feel as though I'm the what do I say? I'm there to protect them.
Right.
I feel like I'm there to protect
Guardian.
them. Yeah, I'm their guardian, and I want to make sure that they either get the best price when they're buyers and or the best price when they're sellers. And there is a method to do that, and it's an effective method. And if you don't follow it, you're going to lose out.
Now, I've got a chart here, Daryl, because I didn't even know we were going to go down this route, and I sent it over to Josh. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it into this shot or not for us, but it's something that we've used for years and years. It's not mine. It comes from the National Association of Realtors and Move Sales Inc., and it basically shows the impact of price on visibility, and it gives us an idea that if you're pricing your property at market value, 60% of the market is going to see that property. If you price it 10%, this is a national number, so California may be a little bit different, but the concept is the same. Price it 10% below market, 75% of the market will see it. And if you're 15% below market, 90% are going to see it.
Exactly. I mean, you're selling something. So if you have a tool in your tool chest that allows you to get more eyes on that property, let's use it.
Yeah, and if you're 10% over, only 15% of the market's going to see your property.
That's exactly it. That's exactly. And also,
thanks for getting that up there, Josh, so quick.
Buyers are also not only looking at price and the photographs, the marketing, etc., but they're also looking at days on market. And when
explain that one for us a little bit.
Well, so for example, and buyers know what's going on in the market. They know it's a hot market for sellers. And so if they see a house that's been on the market for 45 days, which used to not be a long time, but now is a long time, they're going to go, oh, something must be wrong with that house. Let's pass on it.
Well, let's put that into context a little bit. So as of yesterday in Yorba Linda, California, the average days on market is 44. Median days on market is 14, with all those 32 houses that are available for sale.
Yeah.
Right. So they're not staying on the market very long.
No.
And what that tells me, and I want to see if what your thoughts are. We got a good friend of ours on the broad watching us this morning. Good morning, Linda. Good to see you. Linda Eisenman is with us. She's agreeing with us.
Yeah, I know Linda. She's great.
Wonderful lady, and a frequent guest on the broadcast. Love Linda. But what I want to get to real quick, because we only got about a minute left. Average days on the market is 44. Median days on the market is 14. That means half the properties are above and half below. It's not on the median. Seems to me that maybe that the difference between those is some people that really just didn't want to sell the property. They're just kind of fishing. If I get a home run, I'll take it. Otherwise, I'm not motivated.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, like you had mentioned in the intro of the show, how oftentimes folks think their house is worth more than it is. Actually, we've seen a lot of almost the opposite of that when we had the prices were rising so fast. It was almost just the opposite. I thought it was worth $1 million. I go, I think it might be worth $1.1 million, frankly. So that changed a little bit. But yeah, if you got to price it right, if you don't, you're losing out. And it's not a matter of you're giving up money when you price it properly. You're actually going to make more money at the end game. It's going to sell for more, period.
That's great information. That's what we like to share with you, is that you're going to get more money. And, like I say, I give away rsrmoney.com. I'm going to be the first to tell you it's a historic look at real estate. It's not future looking. When you're looking at refinancing a property, you look at the historic numbers. RSR Money will have great data there, except for Zillow. But it's going to give you really good data. If you're wanting to look at selling property, you need to look at the current market and look forward. And that only comes from a real estate agent, a professional real estate agent that's got some experience, understands the market, has been around. Again, not the person that's did this because they wanted to save a commission. Someone that knows how to do these things the right way. I'm gonna throw this out there, but Josh is gonna kill me anyway. Is you as a realtor don't get paid for this transaction. You're getting paid for all of these years and years of experience that you bring to this transaction.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So when somebody says, "Well, look at the commission," well, that's not for this transaction. That's for this 20 years you're bringing.
Right. There's a funny story about an electrician going in and fixing the electrical in the house. And he went in there, opened the box and turned one screw. And he said, okay, that'll be $300. Because you were here, the seller says the owner says you were here for 20 seconds, $300. He says, well, $1 was for the time, $299 was knowing what screw to turn.
Yeah.
So you got to know what screw to turn.
I would have blown up the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't even know how to use a screwdriver. Yeah, that's great information. You know, and that's a perfect analogy right there. Hey, we appreciate your time coming in. If you want some great information, great guidance in North Orange County or California, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Daryl Jones and his team. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.